So, the Resilient Jenkins, aka Steph Jenkins, just sat in her car and filmed a full 3-minute video explaining what really happened with her GoFundMe. Y'all, this explanation, it's giving damage control. Let's break it down because none of this is adding up.
Hey y'all, I'm sorry if this is kind of crappy lighting, but I just really wanted to take a minute and reach out and say this because I'm sure some people are kind of curious like what happened to our GoFundMe. So let me take a second and say I tried to log back into it a month or so ago and it told me the account did not exist. I looked into my email that I set up the account with and I didn't even have like an activation email or anything like that. It really looked like I just did not set that account up, period. So what I went ahead and did just to kind of test it out is I set an account up the exact same way I did before, same email, same username and everything, and it let me do it as if the account really does not exist. There wasn't anyone who set that up previously. And if you know us, you should know this was definitely some kind of phishing activity. Somebody knows what they did. But also I want to point out that you can go in there and see where that GoFundMe is and see that none of the donations have been used. It's still sitting at the balance of what it would be for every donation. I have been trying to figure out how to contact the GoFundMe site, and y'all, I'm really not the best at this stuff. That's why I try to be open and honest with you guys about it, because I'm not trying to scam anybody or be wrong with this money, but I'm trying to figure out how to get into contact with the site and let them know what happened, see what they can do about it, and probably just officially shut that GoFundMe down because it just didn't go the direction we were hoping as is. I do want to make sure that you guys know we were deeply appreciative of the people who made the donations, and we were going to do with that money what it said, like either with legal help or things that the kids need. And Christmas is approaching. Y'all always can see like the children have needs, so we were going to put it out there as we weren't able to raise quite as much as we would need for legal assistance. How do you guys feel about us using it for things that the kids need, potentially even like an urban air trip or whatever? But with not having any access to that GoFundMe currently, I just didn't feel comfortable even getting online and saying anything until I had it figured out. Drew mentioned it in his live, which kind of put me on a spotlight before I was able to figure it out. And it came off as like me trying to hide it, which was the opposite of what I was trying to do. I was really trying to just get it all figured out before I mentioned it to anybody. So, are you okay? So there was less confusion involved. But yeah, I hope y'all can understand. I'm doing the best I can to try to figure out what went on with it. Excuse me. But I really appreciate you guys, and yeah, thank you for being patient with me on this. Much love, guys. Bye-bye now.
Steph starts off all sweet, apologizing for the lighting. Classic, I'm just being real with y'all set up. She says she wanted to take a minute to explain what happened to their GoFundMe. She claims she tried to log back in about a month ago, but apparently the account just didn't exist anymore. No activation email, no record in her inbox, nothing. Then she says she made a new one with the same email and username, and it let her set it up again as if the old one never existed. Okay, but hold on. GoFundMe literally sends multiple confirmations and verification emails when you create a product campaign. So how do you accidentally not have a single trace of it? Then Steph says it looked like some kind of phishing activity and that somebody knows what they did. Sure, maybe, but she also makes a point to say no donations were used and that the balance is still sitting there. But then it gets weird. She starts talking about how they were planning to use the money for legal help or things the kids need, then brings up Christmas being around the corner and says, the children have needs. Girl, you are the parent. Why are you expecting strangers to fund your kids' Christmas and legal fees? She continues saying she's been trying to contact GoFundMe, that she's not trying to scam anybody, and that she might just officially shut it down. She insists she's being open and honest, but then says she didn't feel comfortable posting anything until she had it figured out. Then she drops that Drew mentioned it in his live before, which she claims, made it look like she was trying to hide something. But Steph, if there's nothing to hide, why are you spinning all these explanations in your car instead of just showing proof? By the end, she signs off with, "Thank you for being patient with me," and much love, guys. But let's be real. This video was more about why defending herself than clarifying anything. The bottom line, Steph's story has more holes than a spaghetti strainer. She's saying she couldn't log into the account, doesn't have proof of setup, never got emails, but somehow knows the donations are still sitting. So again, who actually believes this? Do you believe Steph's GoFundMe got hacked, or does this sound like an excuse? Should parents ever ask for donations for their kids' Christmas presents? Why did Drew mention it on live? Before she did, was that accidental or strategic? What do you think she was really planning to use that money for? Be honest, does this explanation clear her name or make it worse? So, do you believe Steph's GoFundMe story? Because to me, it's giving, oops, caught again. This whole situation screams backtrack, energy. Stay tuned. You already know. I'll keep you updated if she or Drew go live again. So what do you guys think about this? Comment below and let's chat.